Hey guys, so it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:15. I had to move everything down into my basement so that I don't wake everybody up. Everybody's sleeping upstairs. So what I do is I brought my food down here so you guys can see what meal one is. Meal one is 1 scoop of complete, which I'm just going to put in a shaker bottle. I've already put water in. You don't need that much water. I use that much, right about there for a scoop. I'm going to have a handful of vitamins, green tea extract right there. It just kind of supports metabolism. I'll explain all these later. But I take EPA, which is an extra omega-3. I take any kind of multivitamin is okay. I bought Mega Men last time. I don't know if that's any different or better than any other one. Fish oil. I'll take a fish oil supplement. It's a big one. And I'll have an apple. Okay. Besides that, I'll usually first thing in the morning have 1 big glass of cold water before I do anything. Then I'll do all this stuff that I just showed you, and then I'll have maybe 1 or 2 more big glasses of water before I head off to the gym. See you then. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is just a pre-workout. This is literally like 2 minutes before I work out. I'm just gonna do maybe 3/4 of a scoop of recovery, which is whey protein and dextrose, which I'll explain later what that does for you. And I put it in a lot of water because I like to have a lot of water before and during my workout. So what I'm going to do is just simply take this. You can do anywhere from a half a scoop to a scoop, depending on how big you are. I just throw that right in. You can see about 3/4 of the shaker bottle. And then shake it up, and I'll drink this while I'm warming up, and I'll have it gone probably by the time my first exercise is over. And I'll see you again after my workout. Okay, so post-training, I do 2 scoops of recovery. As long as you do at least 1, depends on your size. I go 1.5, but usually 2. And as you can see, you want a lot of water with it. I fill my water up almost to the top. And then optional, I buy a post recovery blend to put in there also that has extra amino acids and glutamine and creatine. Not necessary, it's just additional if you want it. I just do 1, I already shook it up, 1 scoop, put it right in. And then in a recovery bottle, then you'll have it, and that's post-workout. Okay, so now we're here with our first post-workout meal. This is roughly 1 hour after I had the recovery shake. This is really simple. I have another video where I made that egg bake. You can check that one out at a different time. But I just, I cut it into thirds, and this is eggs and vegetables. I just heat it up for like maybe 45 seconds. Then what I'm gonna do, this is when you wanna have your high energy carb. I've got a few blueberries already in here that I brought this morning. And it can be any high energy carb. What I've been doing the last couple weeks is having this Ezekiel cereal, which I like because it's got a lot of different like premium grains in it, like barley and sprouts and all those kinds of things. It's also got flax seeds in it. So what I do is just, there's no chemicals in this. It's a pretty good one. I just pour, I don't measure it. I just dump, as I spill some, roughly that much in here. I don't measure it. I brought some almond milk from home. I had it in the fridge. And then just to have a little bit of added protein and a little bit more flaxseed, I just take maybe a half a scoop of the vanilla protein powder. I throw it right into my almond milk and shake it up like that. And then just dump it right in there. So my post-workout meal, which is like an hour after I work out, is probably one of my bigger meals. It's just the cereal with some berries and some complete and the egg bake. And so I'll have that, and then I'll eat again in about an hour, hour and a half. That's it. Okay, so now we're like another hour and a half later. So this is roughly 2.5 hours post-training, and another simple, easy meal by myself. So I had to selfie this one. I just have about 1.5 scoops of vanilla complete. So we have your omega-3s and your protein here. This is just this right here. And then I also have banana, and this would be my end of my workout window meal. So the rest of my meals after this won't have any high energy carbohydrates in them, as you'll see. Okay, so now it's time for the lunchtime meal, which I guess technically would be meal number 4. So what I do is I usually just take a Tupperware container, bigger than normal. Sometimes I use a big jumbo one. This one I'll pretty much fill up. You can see the size compared to my head. That's how big it is. Any kind of vegetables are fine. There's a couple that I like that I use most of the time is I buy this one called Kale Beet Blend. I really don't like beets, but yet this is kale, golden beets, red cabbage, and another vegetable that I actually call kohlrabi, which I don't even really know what that is. But basically I put the whole thing in there, just about all of it that can fit in. Okay. Then I'll throw, usually I'll do a little more spinach in this. This is always, I don't want to open up a new bag, so I'll just finish off what we have. Technically I would do some more. Then what I do is I usually like to put a little bit of fruit in there as well. So I just grab a handful of blueberries, put them in there. I don't measure them out. And I also like to grab, I already cut up some strawberries. I'll throw some strawberries in here. Pretty simple. As you can see, it doesn't take me very long. Then any kind of protein, I usually use either the albacore white tuna or a leftover protein from the night before, if we have one. But we didn't have one from the night before where we had tuna. So I'll just literally put the whole package on there. Then where most people miss out is they don't have enough omega-3s. You guys know I push those omega-3s. So I'll just take organic flax oil, keep it in the fridge, shake it up. You always want to keep it cold. And again, I don't measure it. I literally just dump, and I use quite a bit, as you can see. I don't measure it. I just dump all that on. Then to make it just taste a little better, I put a little bit of vinegar. Using vinegar to make something taste better. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I just dump it on. Again, I don't measure it. I just dump some on. And then, real simple, a little bit of salt. And do a little bit of pepper. Okay. Then, fun part, take the lid, squeeze her on there, make sure it's on. Then I just shake it up like this. Really fun to do. Shake it upside down, every which way. Okay. Make sure it's all mixed up in there. And I don't know if that's what it looks like right there. Got all your veggies in there. Then not every day, but a lot of times what I'll do is I like hummus. I like the Wegmans spicy chipotle is my favorite. And I'll take some extra vegetables, either some celery or carrots or peppers in a bag, and I'll just eat a handful of peppers or carrots and hummus. Not a lot. I try to make this last me a full week, and this will be my meal. And I'll finish it up with usually 2 glasses of cold water. That is it. Okay, so now we're off to meal number 5, and this is kind of like a 2-parter because what I do is I blend it all together now except for the protein, and then I'll add the protein in when it's actually time to eat it. So it's close to 3 o'clock, and I won't actually eat this meal until 4 o'clock. So what I do is just use unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And I don't put a lot in it. I just put, I don't measure it. I don't measure a lot of the things I use, but it's about that much. Then I like the frozen berries. Look at that bag of frozen berries. More than the fresh berries. I think the frozen berries make it taste better, kind of whips it up more. I don't know exactly what it does, but it makes it taste better than fresh berries. This one tastes really good. This is strawberries, pineapple, mango, and peaches. So what I do is just kind of dump some in. Again, okay, like 1 handful, maybe 2 handfuls. Okay, so I've got 2 handfuls in there. Then I'll add a little bit of water. All right, and this is the Ninja that I'm using. If you don't have a Ninja, I think it's one of the most important things you can have in as your kitchen tools. And then what I'm gonna do is I won't make the whole video through this, but I'll just blend it for about 40 seconds. And then when I'm done, I will pour that into here, and then when it's time, I'll dump my protein in. So that's that. Okay, so this is the second half of that meal I started earlier at my house, where I blended all my fruit, my frozen fruit, in with the almond milk. So then it's been about an hour. I had it in the fridge to keep it cold. Then I simply just throw in 2 scoops of the BLN. I like the vanilla. Again, whatever you like, and you don't need to necessarily do 2 scoops. That's something you can figure out later. Just try not to spill as much as I did all over the counter on the floor. But real simple, just add it right in, right here. Just put your lid on. As you can see, I've gotten good use out of the shaker today. Then you just shake that up a little bit. It might be just a smidge clumpy at the beginning, but once you get it all shaken up, easy to drink, and you'll have your next meal done. Easy. Okay, so now we're looking at my dinner time meal, which is meal number 6. This is almost always some sort of vegetable and a protein. The protein is usually either salmon, steak, turkey, or occasionally chicken. It happens to be chicken tonight. My wife already prepared and made this ahead of time. I'm lucky there, I'm fortunate. So what this is Brussels sprouts and chicken, and I want to say there's some sort of, I don't know if it's walnuts or pecans or some sort of nut I think is on here. I'm not sure what it is, but either way it's really good. And then everything's seasoned. I couldn't tell you exactly what she puts on it, but that's on our Instagram page. So if you want to know exact recipes, we have some of those on Instagram, which you can always go check out. Again, I eat as much as I'm pretty much hungry for. So for me, that'll be something like usually maybe that much right there. Now, usually I'll probably come back and maybe just a smidge more than that, but it's basically just Brussels sprouts. You can eat all the vegetables you want, chicken, and I'll probably have another multivitamin with this, and I'll have an omega-3 capsule like I had this morning, and then I'll also have 2 or 3 glasses of water. And then we'll have one more meal to go. Okay, so usually about an hour after dinner or so, not usually, every night, I have a small piece of intense dark chocolate. I go with about the 72% cocoa. Sometimes I'll go 80 or so, or 85, whatever, but usually around 72. On a rare occasion, I'd also have a small glass of red wine. I'm not gonna have one tonight, but if I do, I would typically go, just so you know, I would literally fill it up to only right about there of dark red wine. So that's okay to do on occasion if you want. Even if you want to do it every night, that's probably fine. Again, I do that maybe 2 or 3 nights a week, but not tonight. So what I'll do is just, until I get ready to have my last meal before bed, I just have a little small piece of dark cocoa. Okay, so this is the 7th and final meal of the day. What I do is I have a protein before I go to bed every single night. I don't always mix it like a pudding. Sometimes if I just feel like it, I'll just put it in a shaker bottle and drink it. But I wanted to show you guys, just in case you've never done it before, how easy it is to mix up the BLN Complete like a pudding. It tastes really good. Sometimes I'll do the vanilla protein and I'll mix berries in it, and sometimes I'll just do the chocolate with a little bit of almond milk. The key is, and I was talking, so hopefully I didn't screw it up, is to make sure you don't put in too much almond milk. We'll bring that camera here. And it mixes up really easy here, like a pudding. It just takes a second. And if by chance, if you happen to put just a little bit too much almond milk in it, you can always add a little bit more powder. But I usually do pretty close to 2 scoops of Complete. I try to err on putting not enough almond milk, so I can always add just a little bit more. So it mixes up. Like, okay, can you get that in there? Like a pudding. Sometimes I might put just a little bit of natural peanut butter in it, but typically just like this, and I'll eat this before I go to bed, and that's all the meals for the day. That's it.